In this video, I'm going to teach you the 6 key factors that affect how your church shows up in Google searches. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll also share with you how you can get a free report that details how your church is seen by Google. You've likely heard the term SEO when it comes to having your church show up in Google searches. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and there are some very specific things that you can do to ensure that your church website is found by people who are looking for a church or the ministries that your church offers. There are actually 2 different kinds of SEO that affect 2 different types of searches. There's on-page SEO, meaning the technical construction and content of your church website that leads to people finding your church organically. And then there's local SEO, which is the kind of SEO that relates to a search for a physical brick and mortar location. And it's local SEO that I'm going to be talking about in this video. There are 6 key factors to how your church shows up in local search rankings. 3 things that you can't control, 3 things that you can control. Let's start with the 3 things you can't control. The first of which is how far the person is from your campus when they Google church near me or church in my city. Obviously, the further away they are from your campus, more likely the lower you are to rank. The closer they get to your campus, the higher you should rank. The second thing that you can't control is the density of churches in your geographic area. You may live in a more rural area where there aren't many churches, in which case you're likely to rank higher in most of those local search rankings. If you're in an area where I am, like a city, like in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where there's a church pretty much on every corner, it's going to be harder for you to rank higher simply because of the density of churches. The third thing that you can't control is what those other churches are doing to improve their own local SEO profile. So if those churches are doing something and you're not, then you're likely not going to rank as high as those other churches. Then there are 3 things that you can control. The first thing that you can control is having local schema markup and structured data on your website. This is specific code that communicates to Google or other search engines about your physical location and the name and the phone number of your business. If your church is a multi-campus church, this is really important because Google will be trying to place one physical address and location to your church, yet you might have multiple locations. So having local schema markup and structured data on your website is really critical. The second thing that you can control is your Google My Business page. That's right, your church should have a Google My Business page. You need to claim it, you need to optimize it, and then you need to use it just like you'd use a social media account, uploading photos, hosting events, doing things that communicate to Google that your church is active and in business. The third thing that you can control is your church's citation profile. Citations are directory listings all over the internet that Google cross-references when trying to verify that you are who you say you are and that you are where you say you are. There are literally hundreds of these directories, some of which have more value than others. Your church is probably listed in some, but not likely listed in all, and probably some of them have errors in them. And so what you want to do is make sure that you have appropriate citation listings in those that Google gives the most authority to. So there you have it, 6 things that you need to know about local SEO. 3 things you can't control and 3 things you can control. If you'd like to get a free local SEO report for your church, click to the Missional Marketing website at missionalmarketing.com. Hit the link under Church SEO that says do this first, and you'll find a button right in the middle of the page to get your free report. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If it's been helpful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, make sure to do that so that you don't miss out on other videos that can help you and your church reach more people for Jesus.